Avengers 3 was a movie we waited 10 years for. From the rise of various heroes to the formation of the Avengers, the story was built up over a decade, finally reaching its climax in Avengers 3. Marvel spent 6 years setting up the ultimate villain, and now Thanos makes his official debut. This is also the most brutal opening in Marvel's cinematic history. Following the end credits of Thor 3, after Asgard was destroyed by the fire giant, Thor led the remaining people to Earth to settle. Unexpectedly, just after dealing with Hela, they encountered Thanos, who seized the opportunity to snatch the Space Stone. In desperation, they sent out a distress signal. Just a week ago, Thanos had the Dwarf King of Nidavellir forge the Infinity Gauntlet and wiped out Xandar. Now he possesses the Power Stone, and Thor and Loki are no match. Clearly outmatched, Thanos slaughtered half of Asgard's people, and even Thor's life was in danger. Thanos threatened Loki with Thor's life to hand over the Space Stone. During the fight with Hela, Loki had taken the Space Stone from the vault, which led to Thanos' pursuit. Seeing his brother's pain, Loki reluctantly handed over the stone. But as the god of mischief, he wouldn't surrender easily. He tried to distract Thanos and let Hulk attack. Hulk initially had the upper hand, but it was just Thanos' ploy. Once serious, Thanos quickly turned the tide. With vast combat experience and eternal bloodline, Thanos knocked Hulk out cold. Thor tried to fight back, but without his weapon, it was futile. Thor was trapped by Ebony Maw's magic. Seeing the dire situation, Heimdall used his last dark magic. He opened the Bifrost to send Hulk back to Earth to warn others, sacrificing himself to Thanos' spear. Thanos successfully obtained the Tesseract, crushed it, and placed the Space Stone into the Infinity Gauntlet. Now he has 2 Infinity Stones. Once he collects all 6, a snap of his fingers will turn half the universe's life to dust. According to previous intel, Thanos' team plans to split up to seize the remaining stones. He sends Ebony Maw and others to Earth to get the Time and Mind Stones and bring them back to Titan, while he heads to Nowhere to take the Reality Stone from the Collector. Hearing their plan to go to Earth, Loki becomes suspicious and offers to guide them, claiming he knows Earth well. Actually, they were ready to assassinate Thanos, but these tricks were all within Thanos' expectations. After the assassination failed, Loki was lifted with one hand and strangled to death. This time, he truly died. In the first episode of Loki, Agent Mobius tries to persuade Loki to help him by showing him his fate. Loki sees his mother's death and his own strangulation by Thanos. After the image of Loki being strangled by Thanos, the words "end of file" appear, clearly indicating the end of Loki's life. Due to the existence of the sacred timeline, the Time Variance Authority only recognizes this outcome for Loki. Any Loki deviating from this fate would be captured by the TVA, and their timeline would be pruned. Therefore, I believe the end of file can serve as proof of Loki's death in the main timeline of Avengers 3. Back to the main point, before leaving, Thanos used the Power Stone to destroy the ship. Then he used the Space Stone to leave. As for Thor, he could only sadly lean beside his brother. At this moment, he had lost all his family. With a violent explosion, the ship was completely shattered by the Power Stone. On Earth, Banner was transported to the New York Sanctum guarded by Doctor Strange. After realizing the gravity of the situation, Doctor Strange and Banner found Tony, who was walking with Pepper. They returned to the Sanctum, where Wong explained the Infinity Stones. At the birth of the universe, there was nothingness. The Big Bang brought 6 elemental stones, which traveled through the primordial universe. Each Infinity Stone controls a fundamental aspect of the universe: space, reality, power, soul, mind, and time. If Thanos gets all 6 Infinity Stones, it would be a huge disaster. The group then discussed their plans. Tony believed that destroying one stone would thwart Thanos' plan, but as a Guardian, Wong would never do that. Banner thought they should quickly find Vision and protect him, but Vision had gone offline 2 weeks ago, and Tony couldn't contact him. Only Captain America could find Vision. However, Banner didn't know that due to the Civil War, the Avengers had disbanded, and Tony and Cap hadn't been in touch for a long time. After hearing this, Banner immediately expressed the seriousness of the situation. Tony, understanding the gravity, took out the phone Cap left him. Just as Tony was about to call, the commotion outside caught everyone's attention. When Tony stepped outside, he found chaos in the streets. It turned out that Thanos' minions had arrived on Earth. Not far away, Spider-Man also saw the ship. Parker asked Ned to distract their classmates, then suited up. Rushing to the spaceship to avoid harming the crowd, the Doctor turned the area into a mirror dimension. They arrived at the spaceship, where Thanos' henchmen, Black Dwarf and Ebony Maw, appeared. Ebony Maw ordered Black Dwarf to seize the Time Stone. You wanted Hulk to fight, but Banner couldn't get Hulk to show up. The reason was explained in Thor 3. Earthlings hate Hulk. Tony, being strong, had to step in. Mark 50, Tony's shiny suit, formed a shield to block the attack, then countered with a punch. 4 arc devices popped out, and a laser cannon blasted Black Dwarf away. Before Tony could show off, Ebony Maw sent him flying. To protect Banner, the Doctor sent him to safety. Back on the battlefield, Tony attacked but was sent out by Black Dwarf. They fought in the park, and Tony was knocked down by a hammer. Then Parker rushed in to help block the attack. But even with the duo teaming up, they couldn't gain the upper hand. Tony had to let Parker, trapped by Black Dwarf, be saved by Wong, who used a portal to send Black Dwarf to Antarctica. When Black Dwarf tried to return, Wong closed the portal, cutting off an arm. Meanwhile, Ebony Maw was battling Doctor Strange. Like the Doctor, he was a super sorcerer and Thanos strategist, skilled at moving objects. Soon, he captured the Doctor, but since the Time Stone was protected, Ebony Maw planned to take the Doctor away. The Doctor's cloak sensed danger and helped him escape. Ebony Maw followed, and Spider-Man arrived to assist but got sucked into the spaceship. Tony chased them. As the ship left the atmosphere, Parker passed out from lack of oxygen. Fortunately, Tony activated the nano spider suit to save Parker. Due to the mission's danger, Tony deployed the suit's parachute to send Parker away. To rescue the Doctor, Tony infiltrated the spaceship alone. He used a laser to open a hole and entered. Meanwhile, Spider-Man stuck to the ship with his web and followed. In this crisis, only the United Avengers could break the deadlock. Smart Banner knew this, so he picked up Tony's phone and called Captain America. At this time, Ebony Maw was forcing the Doctor to hand over the Time Stone, unaware Tony had infiltrated. Just as Tony was planning a rescue, the cloak appeared, its voice weak, and Spider-Man followed. After Parker's explanation, Tony let him stay. They brainstormed to rescue the Doctor. Parker, a movie buff, quickly had a plan. He used a movie scene to deal with Ebony Maw. Tony moved behind Ebony Maw, used a missile to make a hole, and Ebony Maw was sucked out, freezing in space. Parker saved the Doctor with his web. Suit 1 unlocked a new feature just in time. Tony sealed the hole with nanomaterials. Crisis averted, they headed to Titan to ambush Thanos. The Doctor warned that if he had to choose between lives and the stone, he'd protect the Time Stone. Tony understood and announced Spider-Man as an Avenger. Meanwhile, a spaceship glided between planets. The Guardians got a distress signal from Thor's ship and jumped through space to rescue. The signal wasn't just for Star-Lord but was a public cosmic distress signal. At the source, they saw bodies and debris in space, realizing they were late. Unconscious Thor hit the glass. Rocket looked disgusted but saw Thor was alive and rescued him. Hearing praise for Thor, Star-Lord got jealous and asked Mantis to wake Thor. Awake, Thor recounted his ordeal. Gamora said Thanos aimed to wipe out half of life to maintain balance, easing energy shortages. With a snap, the stones can fulfill wishes. Thor thought Thanos would go to nowhere for the Reality Stone. Thor believed the Avengers could protect the Earth Stones. The Soul Stone's location was unknown, so there was little worry. Gamora looked serious. Thor needed a new weapon to counter Thanos. Rocket admired Thor, and to stop Thanos, they split up. Thor, Rocket, and Groot would go to Nidavellir to forge a weapon. Star-Lord and others would go to nowhere to stop Thanos. Gamora knew the success rate was low. She knew Thanos well, so she made Star-Lord promise. Once Thanos caught him, he had to kill himself immediately. Seeing Gamora so serious, Star-Lord reluctantly agreed. When Star-Lord and the others arrived at nowhere, the Collector was being interrogated by Thanos about the stone's whereabouts. Drax, hiding nearby, wanted to avenge his wife and daughter immediately upon seeing Thanos. Ignoring Star-Lord's advice, he charged out, but Mantis quickly put him to sleep. Hearing the commotion, Thanos was about to investigate when Gamora, realizing she couldn't hide, rushed out and stabbed Thanos in the throat, then the heart. But just when they thought Thanos was defeated, his voice echoed again. It turned out it was all an illusion created by Thanos. He had already killed the Collector and obtained the Reality Stone. Cunning Thanos had planned everything. He came to nowhere not just for a stone but to capture Gamora as well. He knew Gamora and the others would come, so he staged this scene. Just days before, Nebula had failed to assassinate Thanos and suffered his wrath again. Thanos read from her mind that Gamora knew the Soul Stone's location. Gamora tried to resist but was overpowered by Thanos. Drax attempted to rescue her but was turned into blocks by the Reality Stone, and Mantis was turned into ribbons. Star-Lord then rushed out with a futile threat, but Thanos was unfazed. Gamora kept hinting to Star-Lord that Thanos wasn't the target. Finally, Star-Lord aimed his gun at Gamora. After a moment of hesitation, he made the painful decision, but in an instant, Thanos turned the gun into bubbles. Thanos then used the Space Stone to take Gamora back to his ship. However, Gamora's nightmare was just beginning. At this time, Nebula had been torn apart by Thanos. Although not blood sisters, since Guardians 2, their bond had grown strong. So when Gamora saw Nebula in agony, she felt as if pierced by 1,000 arrows. Helpless, Gamora revealed the Soul Stone's location. Ever since Red Skull, who coveted cosmic power, was sent to Vormir by the Tesseract, he became the lonely guide to the Soul Stone. This fate meant he could never obtain the stone. The condition to acquire the Soul Stone is to sacrifice a soul for a soul. To get the stone, one must lose what they love most. Hearing this, Gamora laughed, thinking Thanos could never have a true love. But to her surprise, Thanos shed tears, as he always considered Gamora his daughter. In the end, Thanos tearfully threw his only love in the universe off the cliff. When he awoke again, the Soul Stone was in his grasp. The 4 Infinity Stones. Nebula seized the moment after Thanos left, took out a subordinate, and escaped. She immediately contacted Silver Lake Titan to meet up. Meanwhile, since Vision left Tony, he and Wanda fell in love. But recently, the Mind Stone became unstable. While they were out for a walk, they learned from TV about what happened in New York. Just as Vision was about to rush back to help the Avengers, a spear suddenly pierced him. It was Thanos' subordinates, General Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight. They were there to seize the Mind Stone from Vision's head. Wanda used magic to repel them, and a battle ensued. Wanda fought Proxima Midnight, while the injured Vision faced General Corvus Glaive. Due to Vision's system being damaged, he couldn't fully function. Wanda had to protect Vision while dealing with Proxima Midnight. Soon, Vision lost his combat ability. Just as Wanda was about to be overwhelmed, a familiar figure appeared on the other side of the platform. It was Captain America. Vision and Wanda immediately felt a long-lost sense of security. Soon, Falcon and War Machine joined the fight. Against the trio of Captain America, Proxima Midnight and General Corvus Glaive were powerless. Realizing the situation was dire, Proxima Midnight quickly fled with General Corvus Glaive. Afterwards, they returned to the Avengers base and found Colonel Rhodes. After a discussion, Vision suggested destroying the Mind Stone on his head, sacrificing his life to save half the universe. However, only Wanda could destroy the stone. Captain America believed they shouldn't gamble with life, leading to a stalemate in the discussion until Banner provided a solution. Since Vision was a fusion of Tony, Banner, Jarvis, Ultron, and the stone, removing the stone wouldn't necessarily mean his sacrifice. Vision, but such a high-level operation requires cutting-edge technology and an absolutely safe environment. At this moment, Captain America immediately thought of a place. So, he led everyone to Wakanda to seek Black Panther's help. At this time, Bucky, who had been in Wakanda for mental control treatment, had successfully broken free from Hydra's spell. T'Challa even crafted a valuable vibranium arm for him. An epic battle was about to unfold. Meanwhile, Thor was on his way to Nidavellir. Rocket gave Thor a mechanical eye. Thor removed his eye patch and inserted the eye. Soon, they arrived at Nidavellir, only to find it desolate. Thor's hammer was forged here, known as the Divine Realm's Armory, but the great forge used for weapon crafting was extinguished. This forge hadn't gone out for centuries, something significant must have happened here. After exploring, they found another survivor. The Dwarf King told Thor what happened. Thanos attacked Nidavellir, forcing the Dwarf King to make the Infinity Gauntlet. After getting it, Thanos killed everyone and destroyed the Dwarf King's hands. With Thor's persuasion, the Dwarf King decided to help him make a super weapon to summon the Bifrost, if Thor could restart the forge and awaken the star's core. So Thor had Rocket start it. The spaceship rotated the star, and with their teamwork, the forge was quickly restarted. Unexpectedly, the device malfunctioned again. To defeat Thanos, all of Asgard's people, for revenge, Thor decided to risk it all. He reached the core. In front of the device, he pulled open the core's door with his hands. The Dwarf King quickly forged the axe. By then, Thor was badly hurt and fell heavily to the ground. Only one handle was missing. Groot, moved by Thor's spirit, finally put down the game console in his hand and then picked up the axe, cut off his own arm to add a handle to the axe. Thus, Thor's full star weapon, Stormbreaker, was completed. Meanwhile, Captain America and others met up with Black Panther. Here, Captain America saw his long-lost friend Bucky again. Then the group went to the lab to get the Mind Stone. Although Black Panther's sister is young, her skills far surpass Drive. Banner's. She told everyone the stone could be removed, but the neurons were complex, and she needed some time. However, countless alien ships descended from the sky, landing on Wakanda's outskirts. They were Thanos' minions, chasing after them. To buy Vision time, Black Panther activated Wakanda's full defense. Captain America told Wanda to stay and protect Vision, while the others went out to fight. Unable to transform, Banner put on the Hulkbuster armor. The Wakandan warriors, well-trained, quickly assembled. As king, Black Panther began to motivate the warriors. With a command from Proxima Midnight, countless alien creatures swarmed like locusts. Although the barrier showed strong defense, the alien creatures' suicidal attacks still breached parts of the barrier. Immediately, everyone started shooting wildly at the front. Rhodey rushed up and dropped a wave of bombs around the barrier. To prevent these creatures from sneaking up on Vision from behind, Black Panther ordered to open the barrier in front, keeping all creatures contained at the front. Everyone was ready to start the final battle. Captain America and Black Panther led the charge into the battlefield, starting a wild slaughter. Banner, wearing the armor, easily suppressed the creatures. Rhodey provided continuous aerial fire support, but the number of creatures was overwhelming. Quickly, everyone fell behind. Just then, the Rainbow Bridge descended from the sky. Thor, wielding the Stormbreaker, returned with Rocket and Groot. Facing the oncoming monsters, Bucky grabbed Rocket for a spin. With Thor's arrival, the battle quickly turned. Seeing they couldn't win, Thanos' army activated a giant harvester that broke through the defenses from underground. In a moment of crisis, Scarlet Witch appeared just in time. However, it was a diversion by Proxima Midnight. General Corvus Glaive reached the lab, forcing Shuri to stop. Vision pushed him out the window. Black Dwarf also arrived, but Banner came to help and dragged Black Dwarf away. He tried to summon Hulk, but Hulk refused to come out. Finally, Banner used a severed mechanical arm to send Black Dwarf into the air, where he died in Wakanda's shield. Proxima Midnight was sent onto the Harvester by Wanda's magic. Vision was caught by General Corvus Glaive, but Captain America arrived just in time to help. Captain America wasn't a match for General Corvus Glaive and was quickly knocked down. Ultimately, Vision's sneak attack defeated General Corvus Glaive. With Thanos' army leaderless, they began to fall. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange and Tony piloted a ship to Titan, where a battle with Thanos was about to unfold. Unexpectedly, a sphere rolled in front of them upon landing. It was Star-Lord and his team, searching for Gamora. They mistook each other for Thanos' minions and started fighting. Star-Lord caught Spider-Man, while Tony caught Drax. After a brief conversation, they realized they all had the same target, Thanos. They gathered to discuss strategies. Doctor Strange used the Time Stone to foresee the future. He was the first to watch Infinity War. Doctor Strange told them he saw over 14 million possible outcomes, calculated through permutations. But they only had one chance to defeat Thanos. So, the story's direction was in Doctor Strange's hands. He just needed to subtly guide and trigger necessary events to ensure the outcome stayed on track. Ultimately, they could defeat Thanos. At this time, Thanos, with 4 stones, returned to Titan. Seeing Doctor Strange, he knew Ebony Maw was gone. The others hid, waiting to act. Thanos explained his philosophy to Doctor Strange and used the Reality Stone to show Titan's past. Titan was once beautiful and peaceful like other planets, but overpopulation and resource depletion led to its downfall. Now, other planets in the universe face similar crises. Thanos stated that once he gathered all the stones, a snap of his fingers could let half of life experience it again. Without suffering, everything turns to ashes. It's random, regardless of status, absolutely fair once it's done. He plans to find a peaceful planet to retreat to quietly. Clearly, the Doctor doesn't agree with him. Suddenly, Tony ambushes Thanos from above. Thanos uses the power of the stones to break free and counterattack. Hidden teammates rush to help. Nebula arrives with a ship to join the group. The Doctor uses a sack to bind the gauntlet. A slide and Star-Lord's gravity hold Thanos' right hand. Parker and Tony stand on either side, trying to control Thanos. The Doctor opens a portal for Mantis to jump on Thanos' neck, using powers to temporarily hypnotize him. Parker and Tony try to remove the gauntlet as Star-Lord approaches. He starts questioning about Gamora's whereabouts. Upon learning Gamora was killed by Thanos, Star-Lord becomes furious and punches, creating a memorable scene in Avengers 4. However, Star-Lord waking Thanos is just a step on the path to success. An inevitable event as Parker is about to grab the gauntlet. Thanos suddenly awakens, seeing everyone overwhelmed. The Doctor steps up for a magic duel. The Doctor uses a powerful spell against Thanos, but with 4 stones, Thanos is too strong. With a flick, he breaks free. As the Doctor is in danger, Tony intervenes, drawing Thanos' attention. It's Tony versus Thanos, using his armor against Thanos' weapon. The Mark 50 is superior due to nanotechnology, making Tony a formidable opponent. Few can make Thanos bleed, but Iron Man is one. Thanos knocks Tony down, attacking relentlessly. Tony fires lasers, but Thanos absorbs it all. Despite Tony's efforts, he ultimately loses. They are at a critical moment, the key point the Doctor foresaw. To trigger victory, the Doctor must give up the stones. He trades a stone for Tony's life, knowing Tony is the key to victory. Thanos now has 5 stones, only missing the Mind Stone from Vision's head. Thanos heads to Earth, bringing death. The Avengers gather to fight. Banner charges first, but Thanos with a wave embeds him into the rock. Black Panther, Falcon, and others were easily defeated. Against Thanos, who had 5 stones, they stood no chance. While everyone was stalling Thanos, Vision urged Wanda to destroy the stone. Though reluctant, Wanda understood she had no choice and painfully destroyed the Mind Stone with magic. The Avengers made their last stand. As Thanos approached Vision, Wanda both blocked Thanos and destroyed the stone. Even with 5 stones, Thanos was held back by Wanda for a long time. Ultimately, Vision and the stone were destroyed by Wanda. They thought this would stop Thanos, but he used the Time Stone to revive Vision. Thanos then obtained the final stone. In just a few minutes, poor Vision experienced death twice. Now with all 6 stones, an incredible energy surged through him. He transcended all natural laws. Suddenly, a lightning bolt struck. Thor hurled Stormbreaker with all his might, its power crushing the 6 stones and striking Thanos in the chest. Though it caused significant damage, it didn't kill him. The Infinity Gauntlet seemed broken, but Thanos used the Space Stone to escape. Soon after, true disaster struck. Half the universe's life turned to ash. First Bucky, then Black Panther, followed by Groot. Wanda and Falcon vanished next. On Titan, Mantis sensed something wrong and disappeared, followed by Drax and even Doctor Strange. Spider-Sense warned Parker of his impending fate. In the end, only Tony and Nebula were left, realizing Thanos had won. In reality, these superheroes who saved the world countless times saw half of all heroes and civilians vanish. Thanos achieved his goal at any cost, erasing half the universe's life. After fulfilling his mission, he returned to a pastoral life. At the film's end, Fury, in the city, noticed something was wrong as a plane crashed in the distance. Turning around, he saw Agent Hill vanish. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Fury grabbed a communicator from his car to call for help, but he too turned to ash. Fortunately, Fury managed to send a distress signal from Earth at the last moment.